Hey, Kevin.
Good evening, Goddess.
How you doing today?
I'm blessed and well and excited to be here tonight.
All right, I'm ready to make some magic too. So, welcome everyone to the Newark LGBTQ Community Center virtual fundraiser. We are so excited to host you all viewing from home. I am Harmonica Sunbeam, one of your lovely hosts for the evening.
And I'm Pastor Kevin E. Taylor, your other lovely co-host for the evening. And we are so honored to be here, and we are ready, so ready to bring you some great talent, some amazing testimonials, and so much more.
And we are so proud to be a part of this amazing event. The Newark LGBTQ Community Center has a special place in my heart because I was born in Newark. And so anything wonderful and fabulous that happens in Newark has a special place in my heart.
That is so wonderful. The center works so hard for the LGBT community to ensure that we are protected, provided for, and acknowledged. And that is exactly what this fundraiser is about tonight, so that you can see your donation dollars in action. Every dollar you give allows one more family to stay together, one more person to be fed, one more body to be clothed, and one more life to be saved. It is imperative that you give to the number on the screen by texting to it, and you can donate there.
All right, and so today you will have the experience of seeing so many talented performers, amazing, prolific community leaders, and celebrate change makers in our community. We want to start the evening with a bang and a few laughs with our first performance by top-tier comedian Liz Glazer.
Yes, I am so excited for Liz. She is a former tenured law professor, currently a stand-up comedian, and a future prophet. She is a hoot and a holler. She recently won first place at the Boston Comedy Festival, and she'll be featured in the 2021 HBO Women in Comedy Festival. So she's doing great things. So bring some hoots and some hollers and drop some hearts in the comments as we welcome to this virtual stage the genius lunacy that is Liz Glazer.
Hi, that's me. I'm Liz Glazer. Thank you so much for this opportunity, for having me. That is my real background. I did used to be a tenured law professor, and then I became a stand-up comedian. And for those wondering, you probably know this, but that's the typical way that people become stand-up comedians. Like, generally speaking, you want to be a stand-up comedian, what do? Everybody knows this. You go to law school, right? For 3 years. Then you practice for 2 years, then teach for 9 years, then give it all up and do stand-up comedy, yelling into your computer next to the bathroom with the cat litter. I am a cat lady. I'm a lesbian. I feel like at some point I got gay enough I could stop coming out. People were like, we're aware. And like, I'm such a typical lesbian in my cat ladiness. Like, I love cats, okay? I have cats. I have 200,000. We all live together in a U-Haul. It's parked right outside my ex-girlfriend's house where she lives with my other ex-girlfriend. They're together now. I park behind the Subaru unless it's being used. Then I'll just park behind the other Subaru. But, I don't know if I fit into all the stereotypes. No, like, I'm actually pretty insecure about this. I am really bad at sports. Lesbians are supposed to be good at sports, at least stereotypically. I think I'm the worst kind of bad at sports, by the way, because I look like I might be good at sports. So what happens is I get drafted, can't even speak. This is a sport. I get drafted for teams for sports only to get kicked off of those same teams for having no clue how to sports. Like, I got kicked off of my law firm's basketball team. You know how bad you have to be to get kicked off of that team? Like, what happened was I got the ball one time the entire season, okay? Which, like, first of all, we can agree that that was an accident to begin with, that I even have this ball in my hand. And I'm standing there petrified with the ball in my hand, no idea what to do with it. And I'm like, oh, I know what to do with this ball. I will pass it to the referee. So that's the kind of lesbian I am. Really, really bad at sports. Okay, I am very, very happy to be here. I do live in New Jersey, but these days you can be anywhere, right? Because we're all on Zoom. Yeah, and honestly, like, I like Zoom. I know a lot of people are Zoomed out. I do like it. I mean, as a comedian, you get a lot of data, right? As a Zoom comedian, you get the first and last names of everybody in the audience, as well as what their faces look like when they're sending emails. That's data, that's useful. But I have one question about Zoom, okay? Now, we've been on that website for quite some time, but we have not gotten clarity on this. Do we know for certain that it's pronounced Zoom and not Zoom? Just a question, okay? I don't mean to divide a Zoom here, but I'm just asking because here's my theory. I think it's Zoom, and here's why. Because what if it's like the book that you read over summer vacation, right? Because we're not seeing each other. We're isolated for the most part, or we have been. So what if it's like that book and you're reading all summer, you think you're saying the words right in your head, and it's not until the first day of school you have to pretend that you were right the whole summer when you know you were wrong. Like you get to school the first day, you're like, oh yeah, I knew her name wasn't Hermione. They definitely did not fix a cupboard. They did not serve hors d'oeuvres at the Christmas party. What? They reviewed the dossier. She crotcheted a blanket. That's what it said. I think we're going to get out of quarantine after the pandemic. We're going to find out that it's Zoom. And I know some of us have had our vaccines, but once we're all out of the pandemic, truly out of quarantine, Zoom. Just mark my words, okay? By the way, during this pandemic, still even after the vaccine, I can't sleep. Total insomnia this whole time. And I have tried everything during this pandemic to go to sleep. I've tried Benadryl. I've tried melatonin. Every night I go to bed dreaming of literal anesthesia. How many melatonin equal anesthesia? I don't know. I try every night to figure it out. Like, honestly, true story, during the pandemic, I had the pleasure, I got local anesthesia, passed out entirely. Wasn't supposed to happen. It was just local anesthesia. I'm looking at the doctor and the nurse on top of me. My first thought was, you had to wake me. That was the best nap I've had since March 2020, right? I'm going to get a colonoscopy next week. Maybe I'll give blood and faint. I know what's good. But no, I'll end with this. Like, one thing I'm going to miss after all this, like, obviously the pandemic is awful, but like, I'm going to miss a COVID test. There, I said it. Okay, I know it's a minority opinion. Okay, not everyone in every Zoom agrees with this one, but I love COVID tests, and spit you can have. I love a nosy test, okay? Because somebody told me I was going to hate it, right? And unfortunately, I love nothing more than loving things that people tell me I'm going to hate. They were like, it's going to be so far up in your nose. It's like a little too long. The woman was done with it. I'm like, could you do that again? What did you find? You know, like, I absolutely loved it. And I was curious, like, why did I love it, right? Because the thing is, if I can't get one of those long, super long Q-tips at the pleasure chest after the pandemic, I'm calling the CDC. Honestly, I need one of those. And I was wondering, I was like, what is it about it? And I was like, you know, maybe it was the first unexpected touch from a stranger in months. Like, that could be it. But then I was like, nah, I don't think so. And then I was like, well, maybe it's the excursion aspect of the whole thing, right? I mean, it was practically an artist date. It was like a mani-pedi and a massage all rolled into one gloriously long Q-tip going straight up to my brain. But I digress. No, I think what it was, honestly, was it was the only thing that finally got the far back booger out of my nose. Like, I'm there once a week. I don't care. I'm vaccinated. I'm just going for fun at this point. I mean, they thought I was a frontline worker the whole pandemic. I'm like, no, I'm just here. I'm a cat mom with too much time on my hands, but I absolutely love it. So anyway, pleasure to be here. Please remember to donate to keep the center alive. It has been such a pleasure. I've been Liz Glazer. Good night, everybody.
What? What? Genius.
Yes, she's hilarious. Not only is she funny, she's also funny. she's
I see
she's
what you
funny.
did there.
She's
I see what you
funny
did
in so
there.
many
I
ways.
love the
She's
thing.
funny in many ways. Yes.
This is great. So thank you, Liz, for that amazingly funny performance and for that brilliant reminder for everyone to give. The number is 973-273-4723. Maybe if you're not on this looking directly at the screen. That's how you text the word donate, and that's how you give to the Newark LGBTQ Community Center tonight.
And I don't know if you noticed, they said we have raised up to $27,000 so far. Yes. So we need to get that bigger. So if anyone can call Oprah while we're doing this, that'll be great. Yeah, Oprah. Someone tweet Oprah or something like that. But now for some special words from the wonderful Senator Cory Booker.
It's Corey. I am so proud that you're giving me a chance to participate in this gala. I know there's galas going all around America right now. Who knows what else is happening? But for me, as a Newarker, the Newark LGBTQ Center is pride for me. We've had a lot of challenges in Newark, and we know them. Painful moments, tragic losses. We have seen inequities and pain, from the private pain for too many of our young people to the public savagery of losing people like Sakina Gunn. But what has been so remarkable is we have not let that define us as a community, that we've come together and not let the wretchedness or darkness in any way dim our determination and our light. I'm proud to be a supporter of this center. Your work is urgent. Your work saves lives. Your work elevates the well-being, celebrates the beauty, and continues to generate the hope. I love you. I thank you. I look across this nation and we know we still have work to do. It's why I'm one of the original co-sponsors and partners in the Equality Act, because across America, most of our states, you can maybe get legally married, but heck, you could be denied service or fired from a job just because you are gay. We see too much violence across our country against trans Americans, especially trans Black women. We have challenges before us. The urgency of justice still exists now, and this center is a part of the promise. Again, I love you. I thank you. And I can't wait until we can be together again in person. Got a lot of hugs I'd like to give out and receive. God bless you. Wish you all the best. Bye-bye now.
Listen, if you know me, you know how much I love Natalie Cole, fried chicken, and Cory Booker. Senator Cory Booker is just a dynamo in the cause, for the cause, and we're so grateful to have you speak to us this evening, good sir.
And it's funny because I met Cory Booker personally when he was running for mayor of Newark at the Fireball. He came to the Fireball at the Robert Treat Hotel, and now to think he's in my living room with me.
Isn't that delicious?
Yes.
but we digress. Let's move on.
Right.
Next up is the wonderful and fabulous Dean Daffis, Deputy Mayor of the great city of Maplewood, and he serves on the board of directors of the Newark LGBT Community Center. And he's got a special guest. Please welcome Mayor Dave.
Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining us. We're so excited to be with you like this tonight, our first ever virtual gala. We're really, really proud of joining together, and we're especially grateful for all of our sponsors and generous donors without whom tonight would not have been possible. We've got an incredible program for you tonight. We're going to have fun, as you've already been having. I'm still stuck on Liz Glazer. I'm not really sure what happened there, but it was really funny. We have incredible hosts, and we're also going to have the opportunity to honor and spotlight some incredible social justice advocates and leaders who make this work possible. When you look at our civil rights movement in our community, at every corner where we have broken barriers, there has been an ally. And I have the distinct privilege and great honor to present tonight's Ally Champion Award to my colleague at the Department of Community Affairs and friend, the incomparable Lieutenant Governor Sheila Y. Oliver. Now, Sheila Oliver knows a thing or two about breaking barriers because she's broken many of them. She is among many firsts, including the first African-American woman to be elected to statewide office, the first African-American lieutenant governor, and she is also the commissioner of the Department of Community Affairs, the largest statewide agency that is every community's resource and support mechanism. Born and raised in Newark, she started at a very, very young age as a social justice advocate, and she has used every step of the way her great voice, her visibility, and her success to embrace the LGBTQ community. In fact, after befriending the late civil rights icon John Lewis, she brought him here right to Newark, right to Trenton, to embrace our community and to fight for marriage equality, New Jersey being the first state at the time to have adopted marriage equality before it became the law of the land. So it is my pleasure and my honor to congratulate the Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver this evening for being a great ally to our community. Without allies, we cannot do it alone. And because of all of you out there today, we can imagine a world where we thrive side by side. Congratulations, Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver. And let's hear from the lady herself.
I'm Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver. I want to start by thanking the Newark LGBTQ Community Center, Board Member Dean Daffis, and the Equal Space organizers for hosting this important event tonight. I am so humbled to be given the distinction of your Ally Champion Award, and thank you for this honor. The Newark LGBTQ Center has been providing a safe space and much needed resources and advocacy to the LGBTQ community in Newark and the surrounding areas since 2013. As many of you know, I was born and raised in Newark to parents and an extended family of community organizers, where I was exposed very early on in my life to the idea of building coalitions to bring about change and greater equality for all. As a legislator, I fought for a marriage equality bill rather than a public referendum, even bringing the late Congressman John Lewis to Trenton to lobby and support it. And most recently, I signed on with a consortium of other lieutenant governors across the country to fight against the FDA's existing LGBTQ discriminatory blood donation ban. I am especially in awe of the support the Newark LGBTQ Community Center provides for Black and transgender people who are all too often unseen in our communities. Our LGBTQ communities of color deserve to be seen and heard. They deserve to be supported, and they deserve to thrive. This year's theme of imagining a society where everyone in our LGBTQ community feels supported and loved and safe is so timely as we are facing such extraordinary circumstances. We need to ensure that we are prioritizing our resources for those who need it most. In addition to being the Lieutenant Governor, I also serve as the Commissioner of the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs. Anyone that holds the office of Lieutenant Governor in New Jersey must also be a member of the Governor's Cabinet. I have the honor of leading the largest department in the state that provides direct services to the constituencies in New Jersey. We deal with housing and access to housing and affordable housing, employment and financial empowerment, dealing with the issue of economic equity and access to opportunity, and crisis prevention for people. Often we think that this accessibility and this ability to secure those resources are open and equal to everyone. But we know that those in the LGBTQ community have often been regarded as a marginalized, small part of constituencies in various communities, but that is not our philosophy nor the way we operate at the Department of Community Affairs. Through the years, we have utilized our Ryan White funds to support people who want to operate programs to address the issue of HIV/AIDS, to address the issue of discrimination in housing, and most recently, we're making certain that the network of agencies that we fund make a commitment to serving all people. Many of our transgender neighbors are having great difficulty with being discriminated against, having to confront violence in many instances. I think that our agenda and platform in the Department of Community Affairs can serve as an example to other governmental agencies and departments. And because we operate something that is called the Local Government Services Division, we have the responsibility of overseeing the budgets of all 565 municipalities in our state. So we are in a unique position to push policy agendas and to heighten consciousness of governmental leaders at the municipal and county level. Many of our municipalities and counties have, in fact, developed LGBTQ commissions and advisory groups. We must continue those efforts so that we can do a better job at making certain that everyone in New Jersey is treated equally, equitably, and fairly. I encourage everyone who is attending the gala tonight to support the work of all of our LGBTQ centers throughout the state in whatever way you can. Their work is so important. Thank you again to the center, and keep up the tremendous work you do for our LGBTQ community in New Jersey. Have a great event.
Whew. And Madam Lieutenant Governor, you keep up all the great work that you do for the great state of New Jersey, and I appreciate all that you've done for the LGBT community. Every time we made our way to Trenton, when we moved from domestic partnership to civil union to full marriage equality, Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver was there.
Well, you know, and it feels amazing to know that the LGBTQ Community Center has allies and supporters like Lieutenant Governor Oliver. Yes.
You're right, Harmonica. You're right indeed. And it's important to have political figures stand up with and support our community, which brings me to introducing another special guest to bring us some very special words. He's best known as the mayor of the great city of Newark, New Jersey. He's my friend. He's the one and only, the Honorable Raz J. Baraka, mayor of Newark, New Jersey. Come forth, King.
Hello, this is Mayor Raz J. Baraka, and I am honored to be here to support the LGBTQ upcoming community center. And I'm asking everyone to support, uplift, and make sure that this is something that happens, but is probably one of the most incredible things that the city has done in a very, very long time in the city of Newark. LGBTQ Center is always going to be necessary as long as there is inequity, as long as there's a lack of inclusion, as long as there's mistreatment, as long as there's misunderstanding. All of these things that separate us as a democratic community, as a society, as a country, the LGBTQ Center will be necessary, and it is necessary now. In fact, it is going to be an incredible asset to everything that we do in this city. We have been working tirelessly to try to create opportunities for equity, to address issues around policing, to address issues around social inclusion, around employment, around other things that are completely necessary to make our community as democratic and equitable as possible. Just want to say thank you and shout out to the leaders of many of these organizations in the LGBTQ community when we had the Ashley Moore tragic death during the pandemic. Our response to that, making sure that we lift up the community and creating the Ashley Moore Amendment, where police recruits will now be trained, will now be specifically targeted and discussed with about how to deal with the LGBTQ community, and making them reach out to advocates, to community leaders, to make sure that we treat the community with fairness, with equity, with justice, and with equality. Our work in Newark is nowhere near done, is nowhere near finished. We have a lot to do, and the LGBTQ Center is going to be an incredible step in the right direction to help us complete this work. So I'm urging everybody out there to support, to help, to uplift, to buttress this center, to wrap our arms around it and make sure that that is successful, that it happens. And again, that is one of the most incredible and dynamic things that the city has going and is available in a very, very long time. Thank you, everybody who think that this is not robbery, to make sure that we participate and make this happen and make it real for all of us in the city of Newark, because we all benefit, all of us benefit from an LGBTQ center in the city of Newark. God bless and Godspeed.
That's my mayor, that's my mayor, that's my mayor, that's my mayor. Indeed, it is so. I so look forward to seeing more cities and governments work harder to improve the lives and livelihoods of the LGBTQ plus community. What a dynamic mayor we have in Mayor Raz J. Baraka, indeed. And next up, I'd like to introduce the genius that is the wonderful director of the Newark LGBTQ Center, Ms. Beatrice Simpkins, for some powerful words.
Good evening and welcome to the first virtual fundraiser for the Newark LGBTQ Community Center. It is so good to know that we can spend time with each other tonight for a great purpose, supporting the center and the work of providing a safe space, whether virtual or in person, programs to inform the community on key issues that affect us all, and opportunities to share entertaining activities such as drag bingo. Tonight's theme is, can you imagine? Can you imagine what it is possible for us to do together to make Newark one of the best places to live, work, and be free as an LGBTQ plus community? With your support, the possibilities for growth, expansion, and making history are real. Can you imagine Newark without the LGBT Community Center? Absolutely not. No matter how hard the challenges and the struggles, whether in the experience of a pandemic or a crisis such as the death of Ashley Moore or Sakia Gunn, I am committed to this work and maintaining this safe place for you in this community and for all the great things we can do in the future. Thank you to our sponsors, to our volunteers, to our board of trustees, and to all of you who will spend this evening with us in celebration. The center needs you to donate, donate, donate. We are targeting $35,000 to raise for this event and keep a safe space and welcoming space available to all who need us. This past year has been a difficult one, but we are still here. We are still advocating for justice, for equality, and for you. Now let's have some fun. Let's honor some of our community's best, and let's raise that $35,000. Enjoy the evening, and thank you for coming.
Thank you, thank you, thank
Look at that
you.
right there. Madam Executive Director.
Mm-hmm. Fabulous words from a fabulous person. And on that note, I would like to introduce the next person coming to the stage, a woman who has dedicated her life to the success and growth of this organization. She has worked tirelessly to create the institution on which we are virtually standing today. The founder of the Newark LGBTQ Community Center, Reverend Janice Jackson Jones.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello, everyone. I'm so tickled. I'm not the comedian for the night, but I have to tell you, this whole production of being backstage and watching people and watching the excitement is just has me bubbling over. Anyway, I'm here to talk about how much I love the Newark LGBTQ Community Center. So, when we started the center, the Newark LGBT Community Center in 2013, it was 10 years after the murder of Sakia Gunn on the corner of Broad and Market. And our community came together. We came together believing that we had waited long enough and that we could and we would open a center and that we would provide a safe space and a physical space for the LGBTQ community in the city of Newark and the surrounding areas. So our center has been active and moving since 2013. So Sakia may have gone to New York City that night. She was murdered. We don't know. But what we did know at the time was there were few, if any, alternatives for her and her friends in her hometown. And so community leaders from all over town, from existing LGBT organizations, hear me now, we didn't just pull people out of the hat. These are people who are running their own organizations that came together, leaders and staff from Rutgers, Newark, community advocates, church folk from the Unity Fellowship Church, family members, and allies, volunteers. We all came together to open the Newark LGBTQ Community Center. It was our intention and our belief that our community could lead and support a place that was sorely needed, a place for people to gather, to learn, to explore, to play, to question, to be supported, to be uplifted and nurtured. We built a place that anyone could enter without an appointment or a stated purpose. Our doors were always open. And so when I was going over my notes and my remarks today, I came close to tears because the stories began to flood my memory. The stories that confirmed to me that the center was important then, and I believe it still is important. Stories of when we provided a space for our trans siblings, a safe space, and many who are adults now and working in the community and receiving awards. Stories of immigrants, stories of refugees who fled their native lands and were sent to us, to the Newark LGBT Community Center, to find refuge, and they did. Stories of folks that just walked by the center on Halsey Street and saw the rainbow flag and walked in and exhaled, surprised and happy to see us there. Stories of older adults who finally felt like they could come out and found us waiting there to hold their hands. The family members of LGBT folk who just wanted to see who we were, and what we were doing. A lot of young people were coming and they told their family about us and they wanted to see who are these people. And they came and they saw us and they talked to us and they left that building feeling happy and secure that their family would be taken care of. The stories of volunteers that kept the doors open. I mean, literally, volunteers that opened and closed the doors and kept the space open because we knew that people would come. They ran programs and they were the stewards, the volunteers of the center. So I'm excited to be here tonight in support of the Newark LGBTQ Community Center. Those are just some of the stories when I was there. And I know that there are many, many more stories that need to be told of the people that we serve. And I keep saying we, I'm no longer there physically, but I will always be a part of the Newark LGBTQ Community Center. Hear me now. And so The center was needed then, and it is needed now. So I am grateful. We've raised, I saw the post go by, that we've raised $27,000 of the $35,000 that we're trying to raise just tonight. And I'm so grateful for the individuals and organizations that are donating, because the organizations, that is what we believe, that our community organizations would take care of us, would do the legwork and the financial support to keep us going. And the beginning of the gala tonight with all of the organizations and that were listed, that supported, it just warms my heart. And so I believe that it's the community that will make the dreams of what we can imagine come true. It's the community, by your donations, by your support, by your love, by you standing by us, by you telling your friends. We have so many friends and allies that are still there, like Cory Booker and Lieutenant Governor and Mayor Baraka and many, many more. So community, keep it up, because we will make the dreams of what we can imagine come true. So thank you for all of those of you who have made donations. If you would like to make another donation, every amount matters. Please make a donation. Every penny counts. Don't worry about how much it is. If you have $1, $1 will help the work continue. There's nothing that's too small. So thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I can't wait to come back to see the new space that the Newark LGBT Community Center will have, because I know it will have a new space. Tonight is an example of what's going on. So what? Oh, see, y'all shouldn't have shown me that. We've reached $30,000 in donations already. Come on now. So we can do this. It's the community that's done it since 2013. We can build, we can have a space and continue to serve, continue to love, continue to support and nurture. Thank you. Thank you.
I love me some Reverend Elder Janice Jackson Jones. We have served together in Unity Fellowship Church Movement, and I've served her as executive director of the center. You know, Harmonic, we've served food there, played games there, had movie festivals there. It's just beautiful to have a place to be with your family.
And she's amazing, and I love her spirit, and more so, I love her glasses.
Absolutely, absolutely. And now we are so excited to welcome our next performer to the stage, an eclectic, classically trained singer and songwriter who mixes various musical genres in expressing universal lessons on love, relationships, and self-acceptance. Family, we welcome Never-Ending Nina to our virtual stage.
Hey everybody, I'm Never-Ending Nina, and thank you for joining me with the Newark LGBT Community Center fundraiser. Please share and donate because we need your help. And this is Whitney Houston's I Believe in You and Me. I believe in you and me. I believe that we will be in love eternally. Well, as far as I can see, you will always be the one for me. I believe in dreams again. I believe that love will never end. And like the river finds the sea, when all the chips are down, I will always be around just to be right where you are, my love. You know I love you, boy. I will never leave you out. I will always let you in, boy, to places no one's there, but being deep inside, can you see? 'Cause I believe in you and me. Maybe I'm a fool to feel the way I do. Well, I will play a fool forever just to be with you forever. I believe in miracles and I love miracles. And yes, baby, I'm a vision, a dream come true. I was lost, now I'm free. 'Cause I believe, I do believe in you and me. See, I was lost, now I know that I'm free. 'Cause I believe in you and me. Ooh, I believe in you and me.
She better do.
That was a great performance. Never Ending Nina has such a phenomenal voice.
Absolutely agreed. I'm loving the talent tonight, Harmonica Sunbeam.
And speaking of talent and love and all those things, we are delighted to transition to the next part of this event. The magnificent Denise Hines, board president of the Newark LGBTQ Community Center, will be introducing some amazing people who have worked with the center and positively changed the lives of so many people. We welcome Denise Hines to the stage.
Hello, welcome again to our Can You Imagine Gala. I am Denise Hines, and I'm the Newark LGBT Community Center Board Chair. I'm so happy to introduce you to three people who know firsthand the power of a place like the Newark LGBTQ Center. They have had experiences at the center, either as a recipient of our support and services or as volunteers who have provided daily support to folks who enter our space, whether that be at our old space at Halsey Street or our new space at the Newark Public Library. Again, I am so happy to introduce you to these three amazing people, Manny Ortega, Aaron Frazier, and Angela Rain. So sit back, relax, and take in their words.
Thank you so much for having me here and including me in this event. The work that the center does is so important for our community, not just in Newark, but in New Jersey at large. The way that I found the center was through an article online. The center, specifically Beatrice Simkin, who was mentioned, the executive director of the center, was leading the fight in seeking justice for the passing of our beloved Ashley Moore. The work the center has done to stand with my family, with the bias crimes that we have been subjected to here in Orange, Essex, New Jersey. They have been so important in standing in solidarity with us and bringing others into the fold. Coming to be present at the rally that we held here in Orange, New Jersey, seeking equality and letting them know that we will not be second-class citizens here in New Jersey. It is so important to donate to the center and to entities like the center, because without them, we do not have a voice. Without them, we are standing alone, and we can only do this if we stand united. So please, please do all that you can to stand with us and donate and be present, because we need you and we need them. And only together can we do this. Thank you so much for having me.
I am Aaron Frazier, a volunteer for the LGBTQ Center in Newark. What it means to me is for people to have a safe space to come to get to know themselves and to get to know the other demographics in the community. The youth get to mingle with the elders, and the elders get to mingle with the youth, and helping to bridge a gap to help others kind of lost in our community, but also to see that it is a safe space, regardless of where you at in your life. You can have a space that you could come to, whether you're an introvert or an person. You can come there with no judgments, and participate, whether it's social or just a fellowship of sharing a meal and a story with one another in a community setting. The center has provided this space for all to come on in. They are very instrumental in Newark Pride to build up pride for all kids and all people in the city of Newark, in Essex County, in the state of New Jersey. So I would say, yes, it has been a definite necessity for it to be here in the city of Newark. Also, as a volunteer, all of the staff is doing stuff voluntarily. So we need your dollars to keep the doors open, to pay the public service, to have refreshments when we have different social events and engagements to better serve you. So please give and thank you. Have a great day and hope to see you in the future.
My name is Angela Rain. I'm a volunteer at the Newark LGBT Center. I became a volunteer years ago because I enjoyed what the center was doing for the community. So I became a volunteer to help in their endeavors. The Newark LGBT Center has several programs such as Adult Game Night, Murder Mystery Theaters, and Drag Queen Bingo. We would like to continue on with our programming for our community. So if you can, please give to the LGBT Community Center of Newark.
Oh, that was so touching. It's so amazing to get a glimpse into the minds and the hearts of people who do so much great work behind the scenes.
And it's great to highlight the people that on the ground. It's without the volunteers, where would the center be? So kudos to the volunteers as well.
Absolutely. And if you take anything from this gala tonight, understand how much your donations matter. Your donations allow people like Angela and Manny and Aaron, as everybody was loving on them in the chats, it allows them to keep pushing forward and supporting the community so wonderfully well. But enough of me. The center's story speaks for itself.
Newark LGBTQ Community Center was created to be a safe space for the LGBTQ+ community, especially members that identify as Black, Indigenous people of color. In 2013, the center was created by Liberation and Truth, a church founded in 1995 in Newark as a subset of the Unity Fellowship Church movement. The Newark LGBTQ Community Center struggled for years to gain the political and promised financial support of various Newark administrations to support its creation. Finally, after a 10-year battle with various local administrations, the original founders were able to accomplish their dream of establishing Newark's first LGBTQ Center. As time has progressed, we have been able to host multiple wonderful programs, events, and beautiful vigils in support and remembrance of our amazing community. We have hosted events such as live drag bingo nights, community poetry readings, and have participated in Newark Pride March every year. Every donation made has allowed us to make this world a safe space for us and empower our community members to use their voices. And though Newark has lost some amazing angels along the way, angels like Zakiya Gunn and Ashley Moore, we will not let their legacies be forgotten. The Newark LGBTQ Community Center thrives because of donors like you. So, keep donating, keep volunteering, keep caring, because we can imagine a better, kinder, safer world. We are fighting for it every day.
Good evening, it's Beatrice Simpkins, Executive Director, joining you again, and I'm here to introduce Cassandra James. And I met each other years ago while working to create safe, affirming spiritual spaces for trans folks to worship and feel complete acceptance as part of the formation of the Freedom Center for Social Justice under the direction of Tanya Rawls. Cassandra was a research assistant on a significant research project exploring the experiences of LGBTQ people. At one of the faith services, Bishop Rawls gave away Cassandra's secret, and that was that she could sing. She humbly took the mic, and I heard angels singing. Cassandra can sing, y'all. She went on to become a star of Broadway in the play Once Upon an Island. Cassandra has gone on to use her voice not only to entertain, but to also support the LGBTQ plus community, equality, and justice issues. Cassandra is performing an original song based on Langston Hughes' poems, Dream Variations, which was put to music by the great Mark Miller, who is from Plainfield, New Jersey, and a mighty musical talent as well. And Mark also plays the music on the song. Here is Dream Variations, performed by my friend, Cassandra James.
Hi everyone, my name is Cassandra James, and I'm so honored to be here with you tonight. Please make sure to share your appreciation for the Newark LGBTQ Community Center and donate.
To fling my arms wide in some place of the sun, to whirl and to dance till the white day is done. Then rest at cool evening beneath a tall tree. While night comes gently dark like me. That is my dream. To fling my arms wide in the face of the sun, dance whirl till the quick day is done. Rest at pale evening, a tall slim tree. Night coming tenderly.
What kind of singing was that? What kind of singing was that, Cassandra? My.
She did. It was a great performance. Wow.
I absolutely loved her voice. I just love it when our talent in our community gets to step forward on these brilliant stages and show that you can be out and outrageous. She was awesome.
Well, on that note, I'm excited to announce that we have a special guest that wants to share a little love with us and show support.
Hello, everybody in Newark. It is Perez Hilton, as my shirt says. And I wish that I could be with you all today, but, it's different times. I want to thank everybody there at the center in Newark for the amazing work that they do for the community there, the vital work that they're doing and that you are supporting. I want to thank you as well, and I wish you all there a wonderful rest of your day and many, 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 many wonderful years to come for the center. I'm excited to see you continue to thrive and help others like you do.
Just great things happening. It's so beautiful. This is wonderful. Thank you to our sponsors and our ad supporters. We just really appreciate you. I am so excited to introduce the next segment of this dynamic event, which will be led by the wonderful Denise Hines. We'll be celebrating 3 amazing people who have had huge impacts on the LGBT community. So Denise, please take it away and welcome back to the stage.
Hello, everybody. When we think of social justice champions, we immediately think of activists, advocates, and general rebel rousers in our midst who work tirelessly to ensure the voices of those who do not have a seat at the table get heard. It is our honor to introduce Celeste Fiore, pronouns they, them, theirs, and the Trans Affirming Alliance, or TAA, as our social justice champions of 2021. First, let me tell you about Celeste. They are a partner at Argentino Fiore Law and Advocacy and founder and chair of the Trans Affirming Alliance. Their practice includes family law, civil rights litigation, special education, and anti-bullying work, as well as providing legal assistance for the transgender and non-binary identified community, all while advocating for the advancement of LGBTQ rights in general. When Ashley Moore, a young Black trans woman, was found dead on the streets of Newark in April of 2020, Celeste joined a coalition of organizers in the fight to bring about justice for Ashley, while also creating change so that no other transgender, non-binary person of color would experience acts of violence and/or death on any of our streets without the support of their community. Disappointed by the way the case was handled, Celeste not only stepped up to represent the family, but was also motivated to start the Trans Affirming Alliance, or TAA. Trans Affirming Alliance is seen as a connector, bringing LGBTQ organizations and resources together to support the highly under-resourced transgender community. Though less than a year old, TAA is already making its mark. They are making it easier for the transgender community to overcome some of the obstacles they face, including the process for name changing, which comes with extra hurdles for the trans non-binary individuals. These are just some of the reasons we have chosen Celeste and TAA as our social justice champions of 2021. Because of them, we can imagine a brighter and more hope-filled future for the transgender non-binary community. If they are not social justice champions, then I don't know who is. Please join me in congratulating the social justice champion for 2021, Celeste Fiore, and Trans Affirming Alliance.
Hi, y'all. I am so humbled and so honored to be here. Listening to the stories of the Newark LGBTQ Center and the amazing work that the center is doing makes me so excited for the work that we can all continue to do together, and how we can continue to improve the lived equality for our communities. I would be remiss if I didn't thank some of the amazing folks who helped to found the Trans Affirming Alliance in a matter of a couple of months, Marie Cottrell and Randy Goodman. If you encounter the Trans Affirming Alliance, you will hear those two names, as well as our founding board members who are also open and honest and amazing trans allies, Robin Geigel and Aaron Potenza. I have to thank my Argentino Fiore Law and Advocacy family, including all of our attorneys and staff, including Frank Morano. He would be mad at me if I did not say his name. He has stepped in and become a big bear in court defending the rights of transgender people to be able to keep their medical information private while still accessing the criminal the justice system to get the name changes that they so desperately need. My partner squared, my law partner and my spouse, Jody Argentino, as well as my kids who are not forced to be standing behind me because they are some of the most amazing social justice champions, and I cannot wait to bring them to the Newark LGBTQ Center and to meet some of the other amazing advocates. My daughter Josie will make sure that you get my pronouns correct. I believe so strongly in the work of the center because I have seen it in action. Beatrice and Denise were relentless in their pursuit of justice and in trying to get information to the family of Ashley Moore, to get some answers and to get some accountability. And I am so grateful that we were able to connect and to work on getting some of those answers. And I am certainly not going to take credit for the Ashley Moore amendment. That is the work of the Newark LGBTQ Center. And so I would ask that you continue to make your donations to the amazing work that this community center does, because there is a lot more work to do. And we know that our transgender and non-binary siblings are some of the most vulnerable. And I know that it's part of our mission to connect those people with the folks that have resources like pro bono attorneys or just even consultation attorneys. So please do reach out to the Trans Affirming Alliance if you know somebody who is trans or non-binary who needs some assistance. And please, 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 we can get to $35,000 here tonight. I know that I'm probably going to log off here and make a donation myself. So thank you very much to Denise and your kind words. I'm trying not to cry. Thank you, Denise, Beatrice, and the rest of the Newark LGBTQ Center folks. Thank you again.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Julio Roman, LGBT advocate and a proud member of the LGBTQ Commission for the City of Newark. I'd like to take this time to congratulate the Newark LGBTQ Center on this evening's Can You Imagine Gala. I am super proud and honored to present this evening's Community Champion Award. This award is presented to frontline advocates and trailblazers who are providing vital services to the LGBT community here in the city of Newark. I am super honored and proud to present this evening's award to trans activist and LGBTQ mentor, Tyra Gardner. Ms. Gardner has been on the front line by being a mentor and a role model. She has been a trailblazer by creating safe spaces wherever she goes. And if you know Tyra, you know Tyra has a way of making you feel comfortable, making you feel loved, and making you feel proud of yourself. If these are not qualities that we are hoping to find in our community champions, I really don't know what is. Please help me and welcome me, trans activist and LGBT mentor, Tyra Gardner. Congratulations.
Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is dope, y'all. All right. Well, thank you to the Newark LGBTQ Community Center for nominating me to be the community champion. I mean, it's only right. I am that champion out here in these streets. But thank you so much. It's a really, really great honor and respect. Can you imagine being scared to walk outside of your homes every day? Can you imagine being told you would never be nothing when you grow up? Can you imagine everyone just against you because of who you are? I can imagine. Some of the things that I go through in life, I'm grateful for because I can share my experience out to others. But this award right here, this Community Championship Award, goes out to all my fallen sisters and brothers, trans sisters and brothers of experience. This is for y'all, because I'm only one piece of the community championship. If you can imagine doing great things for your community, donate today. Go in and visit the Newark LGBTQ Center.org. Thank you.
The community's work. I am here to introduce Dr. Michelle Della Piazza. Dr. Michelle Della Piazza has a reputation for being a dedicated, sensitive, and caring physician who is committed to providing the best possible health services to people living with HIV and AIDS, and has earned the community's respect because of the quality of the care she makes available to trans folks here in Newark, New Jersey. I only had to ask once for Dr. Della Piazza to come on a Zoom meeting with me and be interviewed about the work that she is doing here in Newark. Thank you for the work that you do. All people should have access to quality health care, and your commitment to this principle demonstrates that the love you have for people. I introduce you to our Health Champion Award recipient, Dr. Michelle Della Piazza.
I want to sincerely thank the Newark LGBT Community Center for this incredible honor. In hearing about receiving this award, my first reaction was that of immense pride and happiness to be recognized by the LGBT community as a health champion, someone who works to ensure timely and appropriate access to holistic gender-affirming care. And after dancing around my office for a minute, I then had a second reaction, an instinctual reaction that I was not really deserving of such an honor. After all, I already reap the rewards of the clinical care I provide every single day in seeing my patients thrive. This community, the LGBT community, has already given so much to me. And like Tyra, I also reflected on the theme of this gala. Can you imagine? Imagine for a moment a world where creating and sustaining affirming, healthy spaces in healthcare is not such an exceptional or extraordinary thing at all, where access to hormones integrated with sex positivity and health promotion is universal, and empathy and dignity shape each and every clinical interaction. Most importantly, I thank the Newark LGBT Community Center for highlighting transgender health during this gala, and for doing the real work, the foundational work of providing a sense of belonging and love for LGBT folks, and for providing tireless advocacy. This foundational work has a profound positive effect on health, and I look forward to continuing to collaborate in the future. Please join me in donating to sustain this critical work, and thank you very much again.
Oh, we are back. We are back. Wow, that was
Wow.
awesome. That
Oh,
was
that was so
awesome.
touching.
And I
I
got to see
love
some people
seeing
I
folks
know.
get their due. Isn't it? It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Tyra, congratulations. Dr. Michelle, congratulations. And Celeste Fiore and TAA, congratulations. What dynamic work.
We got to keep it up, right?
You sometimes in moments like this, you get inadvertently full when you realize how connected you are to this work. I can't believe that we're growing closer to the end of our program, and we want to thank you for sharing this night with us.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Singer.
Marta Esquilin. Julie Schwartzberg.
Dean Daffis.
Whit Strube.
Jim Kramer.
And I'm a board member for the LGBT Community Center within Newark, New Jersey.
I am a proud board member for the Newark LGBTQ Center.
I've been a board member here at the Newark LGBTQ Community Center for several years, and I wanted to thank everyone.
We just want to thank you so much for all of your support.
I want to thank everybody for all the years that I know the center and wonderful work that they've done.
I just want to take a moment to say thank you to all of you that have shown up tonight, who have donated, who have given your time to support the work of the Newark LGBTQ Community Center.
You can't imagine how grateful I am to each and every one of you. Thank you for your support of the Newark LGBTQ Community Center. For every dollar raised, for every like and share of a socials post, and just for spreading the word.
Your support will help us to continue to advocate for our trans and queer brothers and sisters here in Newark, New Jersey, and beyond. It creates a safe space and an affirming space that allows us to live this life and to be safe and to be free and to continue to do so.
Thank you all for your generous support, your time, and your great energy tonight. Without you, tonight would not have been possible. From our sponsors to our donors to every single one of you tonight. And my fellow board member organizers, the event organizers themselves, and all of our incredible artists and performers, our great talent. Thank you
So much for being here. Support the efforts of the Newark LGBTQ Center. Every donation matters so much in our efforts, and we couldn't do it without you. So thanks for being here. Thanks to the entertainers. Thanks to the sponsors. Thanks to everybody who helped make this possible, and thanks to you.
Whew, I love that. I love that. It was so sweet. And it's so beautiful to see people that we see in our daily walking in Newark who are behind the scenes holding up the light.
All are fabulous, fabulous board members. And it was really, really great to see them. Are you donating? Have you donated yet? What are you waiting for?
973-273-4723. Hit it.
So, hopefully with your donations, the board members can keep this ship sailing to success.
Absolutely. And we are near the end of a phenomenal night of celebration, music, and recognition. Our final performer's talent, drive, and passion quickly helped her establish musical roots in New York City. And she soon found herself opening for the likes of industry giants like the legendary Brian Wilson, Foreigner, Kansas, Najee, Mesa Leak Deep Woods, I love that song, Keith Sweat, Gym Class Heroes, and so many more. Everybody, welcome to the stage, our final performer of the evening, Carmen Childs.
I could have told you that they weren't your friends, and now the situation has turned around again. Well, and now you love me with pain in your eyes. Won't stop. Lord knows I've been there 1,000 times. I know how you feel, yeah. Let me keep it, yeah. Nobody knows just what to say, and you're afraid to go and say, well, I know how you feel, yeah. Let me keep it real, yeah. I know how you feel, how you feel, how you feel. And when you feel you've been left in the dust, and when you look around and wonder who to trust, well, you gotta believe something bigger than yourself. Whoop, child. Lord knows I've been there 1,000 times. I know how you feel, yeah. Let me keep it real, yeah. I know how you feel, how you feel, how you feel. Well, nobody knows your pain. Nobody knows just what to say. And you're afraid to go and say, well, nobody knows your pain. Nobody knows just what to say. And you're afraid to go insane. Take a second, gather yourself. You're stronger than you thought you felt. You have found your inner strength. Take a second, and gather yourself. You're stronger than you thought you felt. You have found your inner strength. I know how you feel, yeah. Let me keep it, yeah. I know how you feel, how you feel, how you feel. No. I know how you feel, yeah. Let me keep it, yeah. I know how you feel, how you feel, yeah.
Thank you, Newark LGBTQ Community Center, for the work that you're doing and for having me here tonight. It is an honor. I too can imagine a world where society embraces and supports the LGBTQ community so that we can be safe and prosper. Thank you again, and much love.
Thank you so much to the wonderful Carmen Childs. That was beautiful. I'm Jasmine Singer, and I am honored to be a board member of the Newark LGBTQ Center and the chair of the Gala Committee. We are so grateful to you for supporting our efforts. We called this event Can You Imagine? Because we at the Newark LGBTQ Center can imagine a world where the LGBTQ community feels supported, loved, and safe, where Black trans individuals are treated with fundamental respect and are free to live their lives authentically and without judgment or the threat of violence. We can imagine a world where the work of an LGBTQ center is no longer needed and every individual feels supported and respected no matter their sexual identity or their gender expression. We can imagine how colorful and brilliant and beautiful this world will be when our society no longer marginalizes those who don't conform and instead celebrates and elevates our queer, gender-bending, rainbow-infused community. Can you imagine? We can, and so can our sponsors. So I will raise a glass to them, and if you have a glass, join me and raise one too. Thank you to our diamond sponsors, GEP Worldwide, Johnson & Johnson, CAN Community Health, Edge, New Jersey. Thank you to our Emerald sponsors, Rutgers University Newark, RWJ Barnabas Health. Thank you to our Sapphire sponsors, North Jersey Pride, Kinder Beauty, Target 10, Pollock Group, NJ LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce, the law firm of Leslie Farber, Randy Rabney Lichtman, Rabney Group of Hearth Realty, and Argentinian Fiore Law and Advocacy. Thank you to the host committee, myself along with Jeffrey Stein, James Creedle, Kirsten Giardi, Reverend Janice Jackson-Jones, Stephen Malik, Julie Schwarzenberg, Christina Strasburger. Giant thanks to our excellent, unflappable, dapper, brilliant executive director, Beatrice Simpkins. To our board of directors, President Denise Hines, James Kramer, Whitney Strub, Dean Daffis, Marta Esquilin, Jerry Mitchell-Lee, Albert Mrozik, Atia Jaha Rashidi, and Joya Thompson. Big thanks to our extraordinary event producer, Equal Space, especially Medina and Kelly. Thank you to elected officials, U.S. Senator Cory Booker, Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver, and the Mayor of Newark, Raz Baraka. Thank you to our honorees for being champions and doing the hard work every single day. A giant thanks to our performers, Liz Glazer, Never Ending Nina, Cassandra James, and Carmen Childs. Thank you to our speakers, and of course, to our wonderful MCs, Pastor Kevin Taylor and Harmonica Sunbeam. To all of you, I raise a glass. Thank you for being part of our movement to create a kinder, better world for the LGBTQ community in Newark and beyond. We haven't quite reached our goal, but we're very close. So please donate at that number at the bottom of your screen. Have a fabulous night, and I will pass this back to our MCs.
I didn't have a glass to raise.
Look, that's all I had. So look.
Right.
It was liquid, not libation. But
right.
here. And you know, Harmonica, we've got just literally 5 minutes left. And with the theme, Can You Imagine? I wanted to just speak on how important the center has proven to the journey of my life. Because can you imagine like the good things? Like, can you imagine an LGBT center where you've also been able to go to a all people affirming worship experience, where you've been able to go to free creative writing classes if you've been thinking about writing, where you've been able to go get food if you were struggling at home. I remember one time having a meeting that I needed to take with a film director, and an actor. I was a producer, and I was down at the community center. I was at the LGBTQ center, and they were like, "Fine, we'll meet you there." Both straight identified men who came right downtown Newark, where the plate glass window was wide open and rainbow flags. And they wanted me on their team, and they wanted to come where I was. And so I can imagine a center that changes lives and uplifts community, because it's what we have in the great city of Newark. We have that. So y'all listen, if you have $1 or $2, $100 or $2, and you've ever done anything at the center and thought, oh, I'll do something later on. Now is later on. 973-273-4723 is the number. You donate that. You text the word donate and give what you can. Because if 100 of us give $1, if 1,000 of us give $1, if we all give because it's mattered to us, Harmonica, give like Harmonica is performing. You know, like you make it rain, because I've done that to you many a time.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. And it's always great. And it doesn't matter whether you live near Newark or you're far away, because it's always great to have a place that you can call home no matter where you're from, you know. And so by everyone giving and donating today, and even after, I think that they can still donate even after the program goes off, right? Continue to donate and help us reach our goal, and we'll be ever so appreciative.
So we're your MCs for the evening, and so proud to do so. We have been given 7:30. We've got 2 minutes. So they asked the people to talk who could talk, and we're going to talk. We can do that. You can do this. Again, if it's $20, if it's $10, do what you can so that Here it is. So that when we come out of this pandemic, we can come all the way out. When we talk about gather, we can do we can do the dance-a-thon again. We can do classes again. We can do drag bingo again. We can do an LGBT film festival again. Harmonica can take it to the streets again. The doors can be open during Newark Pride in July again. Just imagine being present together again. That is why we are here. That is why we're giving our time, our talent, and our tithe.
Amen. And I was watching the chat on Facebook, and so many community leaders have joined in today. So many different organizations have joined in. So it's great to see that unity for such a wonderful cause as well.
It's a beautiful thing because as the mayor of my great city of Newark said, you just see how important the community center is when it is. That's a place for some kids after school to be able to go the long way home and find sanctuary there when something like bulliness or ugliness might meet it on Broad Street or Central Avenue. It's beautiful to have it there because, hey, let me tell you a quick story, Harmonica. One year, the Unity Fellowship Church we didn't do Thanksgiving dinner because most people had that. We did Thanksgiving breakfast, and so people would gather in the morning, and we would have breakfast with community. Anybody. At one point, about 11 o'clock, a Muslim sister in full regalia and her 3 children walked by, and then she came back. She's like, "What y'all doing in here?" We said, "We're serving breakfast." She said, "And anybody can come?" "Yes, Queen, anybody can come." I said, and she wheeled her stroller with the 2 kids in it and the one on her arm right there, and had breakfast with us that Thanksgiving morning, and it blessed my entire heart. That is what a community center actually does.
Right. Yes.
So thank y'all. Thank you for your giving. Keep giving, as Harmonica said. As long as you have the number, you have the opportunity. So if it hits you a little bit later, I should have, do it then.
Right. Right. It's never too late. It's never
too late.
Right. If you get your stimulus tonight at 9 p.m., call us at 9:30. Okay.
Come on, Queen. There it is. You find that $20 in your pocket. Go. Dog it, I coulda. Go ahead and do it. We want to thank you. Thank Equal Space, the organizers. Thank you to Beatrice and Denise and the entire board of directors at the LGBT Community Center. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Give, 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 donate, 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 donate. And thank you, Harmonica. Anytime I get to be anywhere in the atmosphere of one of your sunbeams, I'm glad to be in the number. I'm glad indeed.
And thank you. Your presence is always welcome as well, Kevin. You know, we need that. We need that nice little balance. You know what I'm saying? That masculine energy and that feminine energy, and together you get us.
You get us. We're proud to have been your lovely MCs for the evening. Both of us are lovely. You're lovely. In your giving heart, you're lovely for all that you do for the center, to each of those who participated tonight. And you, in the little way that you think is little, I want you to see. I heard that clink, clink. We heard it. That little thing connected to somebody else's little thing, and we'll do great things indeed. Good night.
Good night.
Hi, it's Beatrice Simpkins again, the Executive Director for the Newark LGBT Community Center. I want to thank everyone who took time tonight to be with us. I thank you all for your donations, for your support, to our wonderful sponsors, our fantastic hosts. And so I'm here to tell you to make that one last hard push. Our goal is $35,000. I know there's somebody out there that can write a $1,000 check. I know there's somebody out there that can write a $5,000 check. And not a check, but a virtual donation, because things have changed. But we really need your support. We are this close to hitting our goal. And I know that there's enough people out there that care about the work that we do and the people that we help and those that we are serving that will take us over our goal. And so even if it's not tonight, you can do it tomorrow. You can do it at midnight. You can do it at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's Thirsty Thursday. Have yourself a drink and celebrate your participation in this great event. To donate, text to 973-273-4723. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I enjoyed this night tremendously with you, and I look forward to working with everyone and all our supporters and allies to do the wonderful work that we do. Good night, and thank you.